We're recording. Welcome to the Redemption Dynasty team call. What is today? It is the 2nd of June, and I'm so excited for this month. I'm so excited because for me personally, it's summer, and so like I am going all freaking in, and I'm just like excited to blow up this month in this leadership board. There are honestly already Success Club points that I could have put on this leadership board, which gets me so excited because it's the 2nd of the month and there's already points to be put on here. And I probably could have picked a coach of the week, but I just wanted you to see this because I think it's just super powerful to see that everybody starts at 0. Because for me personally, I would always compare myself to the high Success Club point earners, right? Like, so when I started, those high Success Club point earners were like Kate and Sydney and Michaela. And I just would look at them with like Success Club like 50 and I would be in awe of that. And I would just like be like, there's no way I'll ever get to that, right? But what I really think is super cool is that like right now, you, me, and every other like Beachbody coach is at 0, right? We all start at 0 at the beginning of the month, and it doesn't matter if I had 100 Success Club points last month or 2. Like we're all starting at the same space, so we all have the same potential to like earn those, right? And I just think that that's like such a cool thing. Can you guys hear me? I keep freezing on my end. I literally can't see you. I hope that you can see me. Can you hear me? Can you keep hearing me? Yeah. Okay. I keep freezing, so I'm gonna pull. I don't have my chat right now. I'm gonna pull the chat up. And hopefully when I freeze, I can still hear you guys, or you can still hear me. So hitting those one-on-one calls with all of you. I had a one-on-one call in your business and your mindset and your personal journey. Do things that you hadn't done before. And I really think that that momentum is just going to build and we're going to swing into June super, super fast. I do have some shout outs. Let's see if this works. Whoa. I could have shout out pretty much all of you because I honestly think when I got off the one-on-ones, everyone had a shift. But I just wanted to shout out these 3 coaches right now. Michelle, she's not on here right now, but she is such a powerful story. And the fact that she's in her 3rd trimester literally blows my mind. And she, for a minute there, was like throwing up everything she could eat. And she like, it's just so easy for her to kind of like use her current situation as an excuse, and she's not letting that be an excuse, and she's intentionally taking her fear and moving it to the back seat. And I'm just super, super proud of her for doing that because that's so hard. Like there's so many negative people in the world, and it's just so inspiring to see her show up day after day and intentionally reach other people that are her tribe, right? Danielle, also super, super excited and proud of you. You believe so deeply in the products and the programs, and it just literally authentically like spews out of your stories. Like when you post your workouts, when you're talking on your stories, which mind you, she was so scared to talk on her stories, but she did it. Same with Miss McKenna. I think she's not on here, but she also is real scared to talk on her stories, and she also did it. But I just think the authenticity that spews out is like literally contagious. Like I just can feel it, and I'm like, cool, like, can I join her? But like, I obviously have already started. So keep going because big things are going to happen to you as you keep showing up. Stephanie, we've talked about this 1,000 times. We have talked about getting into some more of your personal life, getting away from only showing the health and fitness side. And she is like the queen of showing the health and fitness, right? Like that is her comfort zone. Stephanie could talk about her workouts. She like had no problem sharing her workouts, no problem posting workout things, coaching things, but there's so much more to you as a human. And it's cool to start seeing those. And I'm starting to see moments where I'm like, oh, that's the Stephanie that I talked to. Oh, that's the Stephanie that is on my team. I think for all of us in general, it's so easy to put this like quote coach hat on and like, this is what I sound like on Instagram because I'm a coach and I'm supposed to sound super excited all the time. And I should talk like this because I'm so happy. And like, we just like change our voice and we change the way we talk and we change the words that we say. And when we do that, we are taking away from the like authenticity from the potential that you have to build not only an amazing business, but build amazing relationships and connections because you are no longer authentically being yourself, right? And so I just think it's super, super cool to see Stephanie take that coach hat off and start showing up as herself and start showing up as a mom and a teacher and other things in addition to the health and fitness. Like, it's a hard balance to find both of those and show both of those. And I think you're starting to take those steps, and I think you're gonna find your tribe a little bit more as you continue to do that. So keep doing that. I'm super, super excited. Okay, announcements. This is like weird. I want it to just like click through and it won't. Announcements. There's this sale, which I think all of you have seen, but if you have not seen, all challenge packs are $20 off, which is literally insane to me. Like, literally insane to me. So this is like how I'm processing it in my head. So the cheapest challenge pack before was $160. So the cheapest challenge pack now is $140 for the entire year. So for that like silver platter of all the things. And it's like, my mind is blown because you break that down and it's like somewhere around $12 a month. And that is like cheaper than most gym memberships. And you get so, so, so much more. So you guys need to be like talking about this sale like all the time. I'm unsure, but I really think that this may be the cheapest I've seen it since I've been a coach. It may have been $20 off before, but I don't really remember. I think that this may be the cheapest that I've personally seen it. And so I just encourage you guys to use this to your advantage because this is an amazing deal. Like, I know that you guys all believe in these programs and these products, and you know that they have personally changed your own life. So you guys need to be using this. So some tips for using the sale, how to promote the sale. This is what I've done at least. You guys probably got this email because I haven't totally organized my streak, and you guys are probably still in my like client email. But I send out an email to all of my clients. So my leads, people who don't actually have bod, every human that's like done a free group with me, anyone who is in my Beachbody back office, I sent out an email to all of them, just like hey, I just wanted to let you know that all challenge packs are $20 off. And what I am doing for anyone who starts this weekend, so it was anyone who recommitted to their health and fitness training with a challenge pack, because what I have personally is the girls coming up on a year. And so instead of just like buying another year of bod, they could upgrade it to a challenge pack. Or people who have stopped getting bod, people who only did like a free week and never actually got bod. So recommitting to health and fitness, or if they already have everything they need, gets a friend to jump in with them. If they get one of those two things to happen this weekend, then I'm also going to send them a gift. So I was like, hey, there's a sale. I'm super, super pumped about this. Get you recommit, or you get a friend to recommit, or a friend to commit this weekend, and I will send you something in the mail. So that's one way that I'm promoting it. Two, I followed up with a bajillion people. Like, literally go through your share carts. So if you've been coaching for more than like a month, you probably have sent a bunch of share carts. I want you to go through every share cart that's been viewed and or not viewed and email every single one of them. Or message them on Instagram, whichever, if you know their Instagram handle or just know their email. Email them and say, hey, I know you were interested before. I just want you to know there's a sale, like hype it up. They were interested before they gave you their info to get in a share cart to begin with. So this should be a heavy, heavy, heavy follow-up month. Anyone you've ever had conversations with, you should go back. I literally went here. I went back through my notebook. What is here? Literally all the way from last year. Guys, I think it's so cool to look through my notebook. Look at all these names. Just like names and names and names and names and names. So I literally went back to last year. When was this? March 25th of 2018. And all the people that I starred, all the people that I circled, and even just I would write down the names. Like I would search the names in my instant inbox and it would bring up the conversation. And I said to all of them, like, this was even before I announced it on my Instagram, like, hey, I know we've chatted before, but I just want you to know that there's a sale, and I wanted you to have a heads up before I told everybody else. So if you're ready, like, this is your sign, like, this is it. Let's do this. So follow up. 2, 3, whatever number I'm on. Share on your stories and get excited about it. Something that you need to do, though, is create urgency. So the sale is happening all month, which is amazing. But do not go onto your stories and say, all June, there's a sale. Because what that does is it allows people to say, oh, well, I'll wait till the end of the month. I don't have to do it right now. You can definitely tell them that in a conversation. If there's somebody that's like, oh, I can't really sign up right now, you can say, okay, well, the sale goes until the end of the month. But like on your stories, on your social media, pick an end date. Pick an enrollment date. Pick a time that you're going to close enrollment, right? Like you don't have to actually close. It doesn't actually have to be a hard cut. But what that creates then is an urgency of people saying, okay, I want to get in with this sale, right? And so for me, that looks like me saying, hey, my boot camp starts next Monday. Everything is on sale, so let's get you in right now while the sale is happening and get you started on Monday with everybody else, right? Like that type of thing to get them started, get them in, but create that urgency so that they're not prone to just say, okay, I'm going to wait until June 30th before I buy it, because you'll probably lose them. Like you'll forget. Or they'll forget why they wanted to do it, right? And you're going to lose that sale. So those are the tips on the sales. Do you have any question about the sale? Amazon gift card. See? Look at you. You can do that too. So definitely you could do something like that. I typically do things like that at the end of the month, but you could definitely do something like that. You can say, for the first 3 people that sign up with me, I'm going to send you an Amazon gift card. For the first 3 people that sign up with me, I'm going to send you Starbucks. For the first 3 people that sign up with me, I'm going to send you an Energize sample. Whatever it is, like you could say something along those lines, similar to what I said to my clients, how I was like, for anyone who signs up this weekend or recommits this weekend with a challenge pack, I'm going to send you something. So you can kind of add on to that, like it's $20 off plus I'm going to send you this in the mail, or I'm going to whatever. And if you think about it, like every challenge pack you sell, you get like $60 from. So like if you send a $5 Starbucks gift card out of the $60 you earned, it's not really that big of a deal, right? Like it's going to balance out. So you could definitely do something like that if you wanted to. Are there any questions about the sale? What to say, how to promote it? No? Okay. Morning Meltdown. It is happening soon. I know that Caitlin's super excited about it. Morning Meltdown is launching, I think it's the end of July. Is that right, Caitlin? Do you remember? Yeah? Okay. It's the end of July, and I'm so excited about this. So it's with Jericho. If you don't know who that is, you need to do one of her workouts. She is real hype and real fun. She was on the cruise, and I absolutely love her. She's this like redhead firecracker human that I'm obsessed with. I love her so much. But the Morning Meltdown it's a Morning Meltdown 100. And so it's a 100-day program. That's literally crazy to me. But honestly, I just did 80-day, and I feel like it just flew by. So it's a 100-day program, and the idea behind it is that people are doing it in the morning because a lot of times people feel the best when they work out in the morning. A lot of times people do better in their workouts in the morning. It wakes you up in the morning. There's like a lot of like science behind working out in the morning, as well as I think that the meal plan is designed specifically around waking up in the morning, working out, then eating. Like it's designed for that, like I don't know the correct term. It's like fasting of some sort, some type of fasting where you don't eat before you work out, which is what I do all the time because I'm not eating at 4 in the morning, but it's specifically designed for that. It's 30-minute workouts, and it builds upon itself. So the first couple weeks like aren't really that bad in workout wise. Like for you guys that have been in some other programs, you might feel that it's not like super hard, but it like builds upon itself throughout the program. You have to remember that it's 100 days long. And so by like day 50 are doing like crazy psycho moves. And it's cool because there's lots of different like things, yoga-y type things. There's like some MMA type things in there, lots of jumping, lots of different movement patterns. Kiara, please don't. And it's really, really cool. She has a DJ on set, which is cool. That's how she had it on the cruise. She's a DJ on set that the moves match up with the music. So like the beat and like when the bass drops, like you move faster, and like she like it syncs with the music, and it's super, super cool because she like cues the DJ as she's doing the workouts. It was one of the coolest things in just like general for the cruise. It was weird because I love music, but I always tune out my trainers because of the music, and that'll give you both of them. So get excited about that. We're going to talk more about it as it comes, but get excited about that. I want you guys just to know my next program. I'm finishing 80 Day this week. This is my peak week, so pray for me because I don't get any fruit, zero fruit. I'm so sad. I get 1 carb, 1 healthy fat, 1 dressing. The rest are protein and vegetables. So we're going to make it. It's going to be fine. I'm going to do it. All my food ready. But next, I'm going to do the combination between the Transform 20 and the Lift 4 program. This is like I honestly think it's the last 6 weeks before Summit, which is blowing my mind. And so I'm going to pick those 2 because I think that Transform 20 got me the leanest, and I think it was literally amazing, but also I miss lifting. So I'm going to do both of them, which leads me to Summit. Summit is coming really, really soon. If you do not know what Summit is our annual conference, and it's literally amazing. So it's in Indianapolis this year. It was in Indy last year. It was the first event that I ever went to. I signed up as a coach at the very, very end of March last year. So March, June, July. So I signed up about the same time that like McKenna and Danielle, you guys signed up. I think March, April, May. No, so a little bit earlier than you guys. But then this was the first event that I ever went to, and it is the biggest Beachbody event. All of the coaches from like Canada, UK, the States go. And it's literally one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever been at. So look into that and see if it's something that you can go to, because I literally would give anything for you guys to be there. Like, it was the best thing I could have ever done for my business. It was the best thing I could ever do for my personal growth, like the friends that I met there, the community. Like, so often it's so easy to glorify people through a screen, right? Like, you don't really know them. You just see their Instagram and you see them maybe on some team calls. And so like people like Kate and Sydney and Ashley Phil Dyson, like those are people that I hung out with, and they were people that I glorified before then. And I got to learn that like those people are real life people and they're humans, and they, you know, there's nothing magical about them that has gotten them the success. They just put in the work. And I got to see that work ethic in real life. I got to see how, like, when we were waiting for a speaker to come on stage, Sydney would sit there and invite. Or when we were going back at the end of the night and I'm exhausted, Kate and Sydney are going through their back office and they were just like talking about so-and-so and talking about, sorry, she is eating something metal, talking about the different people in their challenge groups that would make amazing coaches, and just like the business mindset that these people had and how they were really working through it, and just like the day-to-day things. So Summit is literally amazing. If it's any like motivation, Rachel Hollis is speaking at Summit, which is super, super cool. The Summit ticket is less than probably a ticket to go see Rachel Hollis. So it'll be really, really cool. She's a main speaker at some point. Also, Kate is speaking at Summit, and so is Ashley. So those are cool too. I don't know when. The way the Summit is going to be broken up is cool this year, pertaining to last year, is they're breaking you guys up, or us up, into pods. Like Coach, Emerald, Ruby are like a pod, and those people are going to learn based on your rank. So what you need to learn for where you are in your business, instead of just a general thing, it's very specific to you and what you need. So they'll talk things like social media and inviting and I don't know, things like that. And then there's like I think it's diamond and 1-star in a group, and then like maybe 2 to 5-star in a group, and then 5-star and above, something like that. But it's super, super cool. We do live workouts. Go to Summit. Check it out. If you have questions, let me know. Okay. This is what I want to talk about today, because I was not going to talk about this at all. But I went to church today and all they talked about was fear. And I think that fear is such an interesting concept to me because it's so debilitating, right? Like fear literally freezes people in general. Like I think about like when my dog and the stupid raccoon were fighting yesterday and how I instantly froze because I was so scared, right? And I think that happens across the board, especially in this business when you do things you don't know. On the Saturday Rise and Energize, I forget who it was, but whoever led that talked about how you can't be courageous and comfortable at the same time, that a lot of times you have to get out of your comfort zone and like step through fear to be courageous, right? Like you have to push out of that bubble, and it's really, really, really scary. And so I want to talk about some ways to kind of get through that debilitating fear and how to like kind of overcome it in general, whether you're afraid of inviting, posting on social media, talking on your stories, I don't know, sharing your nutrition, sharing your personal story, whatever it is that you're afraid of, honestly is probably the thing you need to do, right? Like we need to push through that fear, and that cheesy quote of like, when you run towards fear, it runs away, right? The second you start action, fear is like debilitated by action, right? It disappears. It just goes away when you start acting. And that's that 5-second rule that like applies to everything. But so underneath you can see this like think back, don't bow out, scenario sickness, and obedience. So those are the 4 steps that I'm going to talk about. I don't have notes on them for you guys, so you guys just take your own notes because I think that it's going to be very personal to you. But I really think the first step is to think back into your past. So regardless of what you're afraid of, whatever it is, I really want you to think back in your past and think about not like bad things. I think a lot of times when Kiara, come here, we talk about our past, we think about like bad things, like, oh, I was a terrible human, or I sucked at this and I needed to get better at that. I want you to think about reasons or events that happened in your past that are truthful and that are facts that you can use in this scenario to help you get through it. So like, for example, if I'm afraid to post something on social media, I need to think back to the last post that I was afraid of posting on social media, to the last time I was scared to put myself out there and what happened in that scenario. Because honestly, it probably nothing happened. Like maybe even something good came from that, right? And you guys need to use fact over worry. A lot of times we're so worried about what might happen that we lose track of reality, right? So look back into your past, into scenarios that have already happened, into fact, into truthful information, and use that to encourage yourself in this situation right now. Think back about what you're actually afraid of. So are you afraid of being embarrassed? Okay, well then let's think back to times you were embarrassed in your past, and was it really that bad? What really happened? You know, like, or the last time you were afraid to do something, was it really that scary once you did it? Or was it really not that big of a deal once you started, right? Think back to your past and use it to encourage you now. And then I really want you to not bow out. And what I mean by that is like, so often we're like, all right, that's scary, I'm done. Bye. And so the example that I got today when I was talking about this was when a child is afraid of like the dark or the room or whatever, like what a parent, a typical quote, good parent would do is like, let's go in there and let's look at that, take a flashlight, and we're going to look under all the corners of the room, and we're going to look under the bed, and we're going to look in your closet, and I'm going to show you all the places and how there's no monsters so you don't have to be scared, right? Like they shine this light on it, and that is what I need you to do. I need you to shine a light on your fear so you're done bowing out. You know, like you're done backing away and freezing and not allowing yourself to move forward. I want you to shine a light on that fear and ask yourself what it really is. Like show it for what it really is. Is it a real legitimate fear? And how can you handle it, right? Because a lot of times our fear is false lies that we tell ourselves. And so what I need you to do is shine light on it, shine truth on it, and identify what it really is and what we can really do about that. So like posting something on social media. I'm scared that somebody's going to judge me, right? Because I'm going to post something on social media and somebody's going to think that I'm, I don't know, an imposter, and that who am I to be able to share whatever I am sharing, or who am I to be a health and fitness coach? I don't even, my life's not even together, right? Like shine that light on that. Know that you're afraid of somebody else's opinion. And then I want you to ask yourself, like, is that valuable? Like, is that person's real opinion actually going to change my life? Like, if, let's pretend so-and-so's offended by it, like, what's the worst case scenario? You know, like they're going to say, who are you to be a health and fitness coach? And I'm going to say, I'm just trying to share my story. And that's the worst case scenario. Like, we're good here, right? Like, are you actually going to die? Is something that's actually like bad going to real life happen to you here? And so I really need you to shine that light on it, show it for what it is, and then ask yourself that if you could handle that worst case scenario, right? Like, is it really as bad as you're pretending to make it in your head? And with that comes that scenario sickness. Kiara, stop. Go. Sorry. I'm sorry. My dog is obnoxious today. She's been home alone all day. With that comes a scenario sickness. And when I was first told this, I kind of like was like, what the heck does that even mean? But the scenario sickness is literally that sickness where you instantly start like building the worst case scenario. So I'm going to post this Instagram story, and then somebody's going to reply to it, and my mom's going to hate me, and then I'm going to have no friends left, and everybody's going to like cut me off, and nobody's going to like, whatever. Like you like go into this rabbit hole of like bull crap, right? Like honestly, probably none of it's going to happen, but you go into this what if cycle. And we just have to stop that, right? Like, and somebody said to me today, replace or drop the what in the what if. So stop saying, what if I fail? And start saying, if I fail, then what? Like, if I fail, then I will try again. If I fail, it wasn't meant to be right now. If I fail, in finishing that sentence, instead of the failure being the end of the game, instead of the failure being the end of the movement, of the action, of the process, let the failure be your beginning, and then come up with a plan, or use a truth there. If somebody hates me, then we weren't meant to be friends. Like, and that's just truth, right? Yeah, see what Caitlin just said. 88% of the things that we are so worried about don't even happen. And so often we just work ourselves up. I've read books and listened to podcasts that talk about this thing that we do all the time. We're going to run out of time for me to see this. This thing that we do all the time where we like are in a happy, joyful situation and we self-sabotage. Like, everything's going well, and so we immediately ask ourselves what we're going to do when things fail. And the example that I get all the time, which I don't have children, but I think that this real example is really concrete to me because I work with children, is the idea of like looking at a child, like your child, so your kid, and saying like, thinking how much you love them and like how amazing they are and how thankful you are for them. And then immediately in the next second thinking about all the things that could happen to them. And like what you're going to do when, I don't know, they get kidnapped or they fall in the street and break their leg. And the worst case scenario is all these bad moments fly into your head because you're in this like protective state. You're trying to protect your brain. But in all honesty, all you're doing is ruining the moment. All you're doing is ruining the process and stopping yourself from moving forward. Now you're not going to take your kid out to the park because you've just been thinking about how they're going to get kidnapped, right? Like now you've like let that fear debilitate you, freeze you, stop you from doing something really big, right? And then the last thing is obedience. And so that's just acting in faithful obedience. And a lot of times you guys know what you need to do. A lot of times, even when you're scared of the outcome, you know what you need to do. in your business, in your life, in whatever it is, like, you know what the next steps are. And so it's just that acting in obedience. It's just doing it, right? Like saying, okay, like, all right, I'm in. I'm doing this. I'm committed. This is going to happen. And that just goes back to the action, like shines a light on fear and fear will disappear. Act in obedience and it's going to disappear. My pastor at the end of the service today, he literally said, what is it that you would do if you had no fear? So I really actually want you to drop that in my box, in my little chat box. What is it that you would do right now if you had no fear? If there was no fear in the world, what is it that you would do right now? I can wait. I'm going to give you my example. My answer immediately was quit my job. There was no fear of failure. I would quit my job. Ooh, I love that. I'd book my daughter's plane ticket to Delaware for the 10th with my next 2 challenge pack sales. I would do it. Schedule my test earlier so that I could go to Summit. Yes. Quit teaching and start applying for jobs in my master's field. I love it. Like, I'm going to wait for you. Guys, these give me chills. When McKenna drops hers, I'm going to screenshot these and post these in the group because I'm obsessed with these. I'm going to write mine down too. I'm going to write mine down. Guys, I love these. I apply for an art school and open an art studio. Dude, guys, literally the next sentence he said was, that is exactly what you need to do. That is what you are allowing fear to take from you. Whatever it is that you wrote in here, you are allowing fear, this false lie, like literally lies that you are telling yourself, stop you from scheduling your test earlier and going to Summit, from allowing your daughter to go to Delaware, from quitting teaching and applying for that job you always wanted, or starting an art school. Like those big dreams, like this false fear, this false lie that we tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we're not smart enough, that we're never going to make it happen, or what, like these false things that honestly we are making up. We're stuck in that scenario situation of people are going to judge me and no one's going to like me and everything's going to be not okay, right? Like, and you're bowing out to fear. You are letting fear take hold of your life and control your life, right? Like, and I get that there are things that are okay to be fearful of, but fear should never control your life and like stop you in your tracks. It shouldn't be freezing you. It shouldn't be like taking away from your goals, your dreams, and your aspirations. Like, so that's my heart today. So I'm going to share all my fear life. I just really think that fear is something that we all struggle with in so many different ways. And it takes way more than it deserves to take from us. Like, if that makes sense. I didn't take a picture of you. I took a picture of the chat, just so you know. But we're going to take a picture because it's going to kick us off in a minute. So I'm super proud of you for jumping on. Smile. Ready? 1, 2, 3. If you have any questions, drop them in the picture that I'm about to post. And I'm going to also post these, like, if I had no fear, this is what I would do. Because I'm going to challenge you guys to do those things. Like, this will make me throw up. I hope this doesn't kick me off. I would love to match my income this summer and not go back next year. That makes me want to throw up. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm going to work my ass off because I really don't want to go back next year. So I'm going to try to quit my job. And I really hope that you guys take that leap of faith and act in obedience and don't let fear hold you back from these really, really big things. All right. I love you all, and I will talk to you later. Bye.